What is happening? Some of them bitches. So, one of you wrote me today and you wanted to know what I thought of zodiac signs. You wanted to know if I was into it. Came from Reggie Darby. He actually said, what do you think about zodiac signs? Has a girl ever asked you what your sign was? And happy birthday, bro. Late or early. I know your birthday's in June. Mine was recent. And it was June 3rd. Turn up the collard greens. Your boy's 20 now. Thanks. No problem, man. So, I like African American references like that. People just do shit like that. Like, any culture can do it. Like, if he was Puerto Rican, he was like, yeah, your boy's 20. Turn up the rice and beans, nigga. You know what I mean? I'll just still laugh. Like, that shit's funny to me. But anyway, so, what do I think about the Zodiac? Well, let me give you a little bit of background on me real fast. I grew up Jehovah's Witness, which is a Christian denomination. No matter how many times you want to argue it, it's still a Christian denomination. For some of you Christians out there that think you're Christians, but you ain't really Christians. As a matter of fact, I've met many Christian people in different denominations that absolutely are not real Christians, including Jehovah's Witnesses. So that's not me coming down. It's just I found too many fucking flaws in religion, specifically Christianity, where I'm like, okay, if Jesus came back, I don't know who the hell is getting saved or raptured or spending the rest of their life in paradise. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a rant. The point is, I came up in a very strict religious household, and part of the Bible teachings say you ain't supposed to consult with fortune tellers and all that stuff. So, for a long time I was very afraid of it, stuff like that. Every once in a while I would read my horoscope in the paper and stuff like that. And, you know, a lot of times it applied to me, a lot of times it didn't, you know, whatever. But I didn't really start to look at the zodiac charts until I got with Sarah. And it's just something that, I don't know, it's just something that I just started to look at, not specifically because of her, but at that point in my life I was looking at different things and religion and stuff, and just, you know, just trying to find out more about who I am as a person. So one thing I must tell you is that looking at the zodiac, man, I've noticed that a lot of the shit that, if you look at your profile of who you are, whether you're a Gemini to a Scorpio, Taurus, whoever you are, I've noticed that every single person that I've talked to finds a whole lot of similarities in their chart when they compare it to their own personality. I mean, I found a lot of stuff where I'm like, yo, like 90 to 95% of the stuff that they say a Gemini is, I am. So, you know, Sarah's actually a Taurus, although she's right on the border, so she actually exhibits some qualities of an Aries, but but what I'm trying to say is, like, is there something to this that we don't know about? Is there something that's not hocus pocus, but more so scientific about being born under specific elemental, weather, seasonal conditions of a year that will change you, or not change you, but influence your development as a person? I'm wondering if there's something to this, scientifically, like seriously. So, yeah, I'm kind of into them, but not much. I don't look at my horoscope daily. I don't look at the charts. I've never been to a fortune teller. I actually did have a girl give me a free reading because she said she had a gift. She was actually on point with a lot of things. But I gotta tell you, it's just some weird things. Like, there was a girl that I know that went to a fortune teller, and you know, she told me this whole elaborate story about why we met and, you know, why we were close, and it was really interesting to the point where it intrigued me. As a matter of fact, like with the signs, as far as they go, Like, me and Sarah ain't even supposed to be together. Like, it's like a slim possibility that our relationship is supposed to work out. It's a possibility, but so much has to be compromised and worked on and fixed and done and all these other things for us to see eye to eye for it to work. That, you know, I say, hey, we've been going, you know, 7 years, so, you know, if anything, if it ever did end, I tell you this, lasted longer than a whole lot of people's marriages nowadays. I mean, we definitely would have learned a ton of shit from each other. I know that, and have changed as individuals for the better. But I'm kind of more into the Chinese Zodiac. You know, it's something about that one, you know, intriguing for me. I've always been intrigued by Asian culture anyway. And I am actually the snake. I can't remember. I know they have different snakes too, like earth snake and water snake and fire snake. I can't remember which snake I am. But when I read the profile of what a snake is, I was like, holy shit. Wow. Like, if you want to talk about dead on with me, it is almost completely dead on. I think I'm supposed to get along with dragons and a few other signs. I forgot. But Sarah's the boar. She's the pig. She panked like a pig too, nigga. No, I'm just playing. But and it's funny, on the Chinese Zodiac, we're not supposed to work out either. So there's something to this, you know, but it also says that at the same time that it's a possibility it can work out. It's just that certain compromises have to be made for that type of couple to work out. But when they give you some understanding and some form of power or control over your life, when, you know, because I'm thinking of it in a scientific way. I'm like, you know what, if people born under a specific conditions will act a certain way, think a certain way, then it really can help you to steer your life a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? There are other more esoteric things to me, you know, like with things with the law of attraction, and, you know, people get a whole lot deeper with that. And, you know, they'll go into, you know, soul energy, and you know, I had a girl tell me that I was her soul connection. And then but that's different from a soul mate, and you know, that which is different from a twin flame. Like, just all these different things that I kind of am ready for and kind of not ready for. You know, like, you know, like this one guy I was listening to, he said, we're all light beings and we've taken on human bodies but forgotten that we were light beings. I'm like, the fuck? If we were such high light beings, why the hell would we have forgotten who we are and our purpose? I'm just like, you know, there's certain things you just, you know, and I could talk about a lot of this stuff for hours, because I've looked at a lot of it, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But what I do know is that it has been on point several times, and the fortune teller gave me 5 of 6 winning numbers one time. So something's up with it. And yes, I know all the Christians and people that are religious say, yeah, that's what's up with it, is demons, and demons is watching you and they can predict stuff and that. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I would have to, you know, a lot of times religious people look at stuff on one plane, and I don't mean a physical or spiritual plane or third dimension. I'm not talking about that. I mean, they just look at it through, you know, colored lenses, you know, or blinders, you know, and it's like you can only see it your way. Like, sometimes people will say, you know, I'm wondering what the meaning of life is. Now, when I hear that, I'll say, okay, I know the person is probably not religious, and maybe they're a little bit more scientific, or maybe they have esoteric thoughts. So in reply, I'll say to them, well, what do you mean by that? But a Christian, and I'm just using Christian because that's what's prevalent over here, I'm not attacking Christianity, but a Christian might say, well, your purpose is to populate the earth just like the Lord said, and to do his will, and then eventually when he comes back to do right, than to go to heaven to be with him forever. Like, they'll say that's what the purpose is. They don't get that the person is digging for something deeper. And that's not the answer they're looking for. So that's what I mean. Like, certain people can only see certain things on certain planes. Like, you know, if you would consult an atheist and you ask them a question, I've noticed some of them are ruled so much by logic that they can't see anything else. And they can't even move into more esoteric thoughts. And you know, it's like, I feel like you can't be bound either way. You know, I think, to me personally, this is part of my whole evolution, okay, where basically I'm in the middle. I think there's ways to use logic and esoteric, maybe other things, you know, undiscovered thought, that have, you know, things that just have not been maybe proven scientifically yet, but maybe are balanced on a physical or spiritual plane or something we just don't understand yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I choose to be right now. Because the fact of the matter is, I see truth on both sides. I see something on both sides that is proof in my eyes to certain religious teachings and certain very logical scientific teachings. So, I know I've branched off into other things with this video, but I wanted to answer your question fully so you understand why I'm into it partially and why I think the way I do. Thank you very much. Oh man, subscribers. Woo!